Sean Strickland will be fighting Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 328 on May 9th in Newark, New Jersey. Sean will be attempting to get his title back after losing it back in January of 2024 to Dricus du Plessis. Since then, Dricus has defended the title against Sean Strickland again, Israel Adesanya, and then he went on to fight Khamzat Chimaev and lose, being dominated for 5 rounds straight by the grappling of Khamzat Chimaev. Since losing to Dricus du Plessis in 2024, Sean Strickland picked up a decision win over Paulo Costa, which is actually aging quite well these days. Then he lost again to Dricus du Plessis in the title fight. And then after taking a year off, this past February, he beat Anthony Hernandez by TKO in round 3. Since coming into the UFC in July of 2020, Khamzat Chimaev has beaten every single fighter that they've put in front of him, getting wins over guys like Robert Whittaker, Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, Kevin Holland, and most recently, Dricus du Plessis. In his title fight against Dricus du Plessis back in August, Khamzat displayed utter grappling dominance, with Dricus almost having zero success over the 25 minutes. Since this fight has been announced, the general consensus is that Sean Strickland stands no chance against Khamzat Chimaev. But is that true? Sean Strickland has had a long career in the UFC. He's fought strikers, he's fought grapplers, but I still don't think he's ever fought a guy like Khamzat Chimaev. And in my personal opinion, I think he's going to be in trouble. And the reason for that is the common opponents that Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland share are Kamaru Usman and Dricus du Plessis. But mostly Dricus du Plessis. Because in that fight against Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland on multiple occasions was taken down and controlled by DDP. In their most recent fight, Dricus landed 1 takedown, but it's not like he couldn't get him. He just didn't really need the takedowns. He was controlling Sean Strickland on the feet for that fight, so he didn't even need the takedowns, but he still landed 1 in that fight. And then in their first fight, Dricus landed 6 takedowns on Sean Strickland, and that should worry you if you're a Sean Strickland fan as we go into UFC 328. Because when DDP fought Khamzat Chimaev, he got absolutely dominated. Khamzat Chimaev landed 529 of 567 total strikes, while Dricus du Plessis landed 45 of 68 significant strikes over 5 rounds. Khamzat Chimaev controlled Dricus du Plessis for 21 minutes and 40 seconds of the fight. Khamzat landed 12 takedowns out of 17 attempts. It was not even close whatsoever. Dricus had 1 moment of success, 1 sequence of success in the 5th round. But other than that, it was, and this is the biggest understatement of the century, it was one-way traffic for 99% of that 5-round fight. And Khamzat did that to the guy that had just beaten Sean Strickland twice. And in one of those, landing 6 takedowns and controlling Sean on the ground. In the other fight that I want to look at is Sean Strickland versus Kamaru Usman. Now, this fight took place back in April of 2017. And I know this fight was almost 10 years ago, but I still think it's good to look at. In that fight, it was a 30-26 on 2 judges' scorecards and a 30-27 on 1 scorecard. And in the fight, Kamaru Usman landed 90 of 171 significant strikes, with Sean Strickland landing 27 of 103. Kamaru Usman knocked him down as well and proceeded to control Sean Strickland for the majority of this fight in the clinch and on the ground. And then years later, after Kamaru Usman did all he did in the sport and arguably was still in his prime, he fought Khamzat Chimaev up a weight class at 185. And in this fight, Khamzat Chimaev in the first round dominated Kamaru on the ground and won a decision against Kamaru Usman. And I know styles make fights, and it's really hard to play MMA math, but I think there's a clear grappling advantage on Khamzat's side. And I think this is arguably the biggest grappling advantage that Khamzat has had over another fighter in many fights. And although I do not believe Sean Strickland is going to win this fight, I think that he can. And I think that there are a few ways that Sean can have success and that he can even win the fight. And so looking back on Sean Strickland's career, he's fought many guys with good grappling. He's got a win over Brendan Allen, Nasruddin Imavov, Jack Hermanson. And in his last fight, he fought and beat Anthony Hernandez, which is a fight that a lot of people thought, including me, thought that Sean Strickland could not win. But he proved in that fight to have great takedown defense, to have great boxing defense, and he picked apart Anthony Hernandez on the feet. He defended Anthony's takedowns, and he finished Anthony in the third round. And so it was a great performance by Sean, and it showed that he may be able to put up a bigger fight against Khamzat Chimaev than a lot of us think he can. To a lot of people, Anthony Hernandez has been the dark horse of this division for quite a while. And to see Sean Strickland be able to defend his takedowns and finish him on the feet is an exciting thing to see as he's heading into a Khamzat Chimaev fight. And so do I think Sean Strickland is going to win this fight? Absolutely not. I do not believe that's going to happen. But do I think that Sean Strickland has a 0% chance of winning this fight? No. I think he has probably a 20% chance of winning this fight. I think it's 80-20 for Khamzat here. But Sean definitely has some ways to win. It's going to be a great fight. It'd be amazing to see Sean Strickland beat Khamzat Chimaev. I'm always rooting for the underdog in these fights. I'm always rooting for the Rocky story to happen in these fights. And so I think it's going to be a great fight, but I think Sean has a big mountain to climb ahead of him. And so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see it. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.